Good afternoon. I'm a church pastor and I train church pastors. We train our church pastors in two things: to be firmly anchored in the timeless truths of the Bible and to be flexible in our current age. You can see on the slide behind me the image captured, our old sandstone cathedral surrounded by modern skyscrapers with only a few trees in between. The problem is the two compete with each other and it is so easy not to change. And you can justify not changing because of the timeless history we have. I was running a session for leadership development and a clergyman came up to me and he said, "What you are teaching is irrelevant and unbiblical and of no use." I realised then that what we needed to do was overcome the resistance to change in order to improve the development of clergy. Earlier this year I had to give evidence at the Royal Commission into Child Sexual Abuse. They were very excited by my research because their research found a correlation between competency and moral failure. And in the clergy environment where expectations keep rising, if we don't help clergy to become more competent, they will fail and it will be bad for our society. And so how then do you change a profession? My research has discovered 6, we can call them factors or agencies that change. Most of the 6 work against change. The 2 that really matter for clergy are the professionals themselves, the clergy, and the profession. But how do we change this profession? I think there are 3 things that must happen. First of all, you need to create a disturbance so that things cannot continue as they always have. Secondly, you need to have a group that are willing to embrace a narrative that explains the disturbance and a solution so that they might embrace the change themselves. And finally, as the benefits flow out, the professionals and the professions change, so you create a new normal. And that's the exciting prospect for Sydney Anglican Clergy. The disturbance that I'm going to create is the introduction of a tool for professional leadership development that all clergy will do. We're engaging the leaders of the profession and a number of professionals to work with us to change and modify the language and the concepts so that it becomes understandable and acceptable to the profession. That overcomes one of the barriers. But the second one is the very task of doing this. What it does is it makes those who come on the journey with us, who embrace the narrative, to see the value of expanding what leadership is about. As they do that and they engage in using the tool, they'll have some success. And what their success will do is make them advocates of the need for this tool. That will influence other professionals and will change the profession so that Sydney Anglican Clergy might be really capable practitioners and leaders. Thank you.